Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good of marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, we're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. Now, if I happen to save a soul along the way, don't hold that against me. We'll just call that icing on the cake. Now, the mission at Marketing Pulpit Show is to build strong businesses in our community so that we can put our people to work. And we do that with business development, job creation, and service. So if you ever find yourself in a business crossroads and not sure which way to turn, just turn on the Marketing Pulpit Show because we're on a mission. The show is broadcast live from the illustrious Radio 1 studio. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Robert Gatewood, and go to marketingpulpit.com to find out more about the show. You can find out about past shows. You can find out about the guests. You can also watch the show live right on the homepage. Go to marketingpulpit.com. This show is also broadcast on Radio 1, 95.9 FM and 1450 AM, WOL, which is celebrating another anniversary this month. You can also go to YouTube, and you can find the show on YouTube. You can also get it on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and Twitter, which is also known now as X. How do you come about that name? Anyway, yeah, Twitter's in the news a lot lately. All these technology companies in the news, what they're doing, they're about to change their business model. In the old days, it was all about getting engagement and likes and traffic, and then they would make their money from selling advertising space. Well, that metric is about to change, so we're going to talk about that coming up in our business news. I'm Robert Gatewood. I am a business developer by trade. I have a company called Gatewood Marketing and Web, and you can find more about me by going to gatewoodmarketing.com. I'm also a professor at the Prince George's Community College in the DC area, where I teach quite a few courses on marketing, networking, branding, social media, and other topics. Also at the Employ Prince George's over at the National Harbor. Had a course over there, as a matter of fact, this week on networking. Amazing students, Mary and Devin and the crew. And they're like sponges, soaking that information up, great engagement. You can also go to marketingpulpit.com and find out more about the schedule and when I'll be teaching and where. And because this information, I'm trying to make it as available to as many people as possible, because that's part of my mission. My raison d'etre, my reason for being, is to enlighten you, educate you. And I've been doing this for over 30 years. And I bring all the information and experiences I've had with successful clients of all types, whether they're national, government, commercial, authors, radio personalities, attorneys, CPAs, therapists, roofers, butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers. But marketing is kind of like, once you get marketing, you got it. Because the first thing you learn when you really become good at marketing, that it's not about the business necessarily, it's about the people. It's about understanding people and what motivates them. So we got a great show today. This is the first show of October. This is October 6th. And we have some observances this month. This is actually ADHD month. That's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It's also Blind Awareness Month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Down Syndrome Awareness Month, Healthy Lung Month, LGBTQ History Month, National Apple Month. I don't know if that's apple, the crunchy red fruit, or the technology behemoth. National Bullying Prevention Month. I'm really big into that one because I think more parents need to take a more proactive role in their kids and tell them to go out here and not just not pick on kids, but to actually engage the ones that are being bullied. If you see that kid sitting alone at the lunch counter or at the table, go over and ask to join them. If somebody is treating them badly, let them know that everybody's not that way. So I think anti-bullying is a proactive approach, not just not bullying. It's just like racism. There's more than being a not racist. You need to be anti-racist. In other words, be proactive in preventing it. It's also Dental Hygiene Month and National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And so if you're out there domestically abusing somebody, stop it. Let's cut it out. It's also Today, October 6th is World Smile Day. So if you ever wonder why I'm always smiling, it's a reason. Did you know that smiling improves your mental health, reduces stress, boosts self-esteem? It lowers your cortisol in your body, and it triggers a release of endorphins, which are known to make you feel good. These endorphins can uplift your mood, make you happier, and even reduce pain perception. That's a reason to smile. Also, did you know that smiling increases your attractiveness? And it helps you with your relationships. Smiling makes you appear more approachable. And I'm always talking about this during my networking classes. Don't go in there with like you just lost your best friend or your pet got run over. Go in there with your back straight and your smile, and you'll be amazed how smiling makes you more approachable and attractive, and it increases the effectiveness of your relationships. It fosters an impression of trust, knowledge, understanding, and cooperation. It's Smile Day. So I want you to do something today, folks. I want you to smile. Also, smiling actually helps your physical health. And they say that people who smile more live longer. That's all the reason you need right there for me. Research has shown that people who smile more frequently tend to live longer. It contributes to your overall well-being and a positive outlook on life. I'm going to be smiling like a Cheshire cat the rest of the day. Let's see. Smiling has been found to lower blood pressure levels, reducing the risk of cardiovascular diseases, and promoting heart health. Gotta work on my smile. Tell you folks, if you're wondering what your smile looks like, every now and then, I know it may seem a little vain, but go to the mirror one day and just look at yourself and watch the difference between how you look when you're frowning or smiling. And I'm gonna tell you this too. As you get older, get a little long in the tooth like me, you don't necessarily have to be, you don't feel like you're frowning, but it just tends to sag. Sometimes your eyebrows come down and it looks like you're frowning, looks like you're angry, even when you're not. So take a look in the mirror every now and then, because smiling, it stimulates the production of antibodies and immune cells. It strengthens your immune system and helps you fight off illnesses. So on this Smile Day, remember, it improves your mental health. It makes you look better, helps you with your relationships. It actually helps you live longer and fights off diseases. So right on, I'm all in on Smile Day. So if you wonder why I'm smiling all the time, I'm trying to live, Jack. I'm trying to build these relationships. I'm trying to help my mental health. So let's go out here and get those smiles on. Don't forget to go to the marketing pulpit and join the directory. And we have some events. Matter of fact, I said I was at the Employ Prince George's on this past Tuesday, where we had a great talk about networking. We're going to talk about networking today too. Is your networking not working? Marinate on that for a second. Is your networking not working? We're going to talk about why. I'm always talking about networking. This is an absolute. There are a few absolutes in business and marketing, as far as I'm concerned, but networking is one of them. We're going to talk about that today. Also, we had these events. Matter of fact, today, on this first Friday, we're going to have our networking event over at BLE, the BLE First Friday networking event, which we have every first Friday of every month. And today, we want to have Sean Smith. He's going to talk about business funding. Money is getting harder to get, harder and harder. He's going to tell you the roadmap and help us navigate this landscape of business funding. That's going to take place at 11:30 today. You're in the Washington, D.C. area. You still have time. Go ahead and start dusting off your trousers and ironing your skirt and shining your shoes or whatever you have to do. Come on out to the first Friday at 9701 Apollo Drive in Largo, Maryland, over there near the football stadium where the Commanders got trounced last night by the Chicago Bears. Man, that was a travesty. So if you don't let that dissuade you from coming in this area, because we have a more positive spin on this area, on this street, over here on Medical Center Drive, which leads you right to the stadium. So I'm almost my office is almost walking distance from the stadium where the football game was played last night. So today we have something positive taking place in this area, unlike last night, the first Friday networking event. 11:30 to 1 o'clock, free food from Panera Bread. We got this great information from Sean Smith on funding, and meet these other business owners. And we're going to talk about the importance of networking coming up in a few moments. Let's talk about a couple of quick items in the news. The food industry is eyeing the Ozempic effect. So in other words, the weight loss, food appetite suppressing drugs are actually having an impact on the food industry. So when you stop eating, people stop buying food. Let me tell you something. When you're doing your business plan, your strategies, write yourself a SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. What happens, there are threats sometimes in the horizon that will impact your business that you may not even be aware of. Like when I started my first payphone business, they said you can make money while you sleep. Well, they didn't tell me that the cell phone industry was coming. And so that was a threat that I did not foresee. So when you're making your business plan, and that's also why I talk about getting your funding and moving these businesses forward, because you may face obsolescence if you don't get that funding and get it out there. See what else is going on here in the news. Kaiser Permanente, the people on strike. This could get ugly. Let's see here. Online holiday sales to hit a record this year. Expecting about 5% over last year. For the first time, people are going to be spending more money on their phones than on their desktops. What we're going to do, we're going to get ready. We're going to take a quick break. This is the Marketing Pulpit Radio Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. When we come back, we're going to talk about a few more items in the news. I'm going to talk about, is your networking not working? I've told you to network. Now I'm going to tell you how to do it. This is the Marketing Pulpit. I'm Robert Gatewood. We're going to be right back in a minute. And don't you go anywhere. Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are all right. We're back. This is the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host, and I'm here every Friday, right here on Radio 1, 95.9 FM. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter or X, and we are on LinkedIn, broadcasting live. We want to make sure this information gets into your ear hole, like Funkadelic used to say. I know that's these old schoolers might know who Funkadelic was. Flashlight, One Nation Under a Groove. Man, that was some good music. Whew. Don't make it like that anymore. Let's go to, make sure you go to mpi.bz or marketingpulpit.com and get your business in the directory so we can shout you out on the air. And also, if you're in the Washington, D.C. area, come on out to the First Friday networking event over at 9701 Apollo Drive, brought to you by our good sponsor, BLE Executive Suites. It's Bernadette Clay and Company. Man, what a great group of people. And they're also, they believe in this networking. Matter of fact, I met BLE at a networking event. And the event was sponsored by Radio 1. Boy, I tell you, once you get in that circle of networking and meeting people and building those relationships, magic happens. Let's talk about a couple of more items in the news. Meta announced on Wednesday it's making new AI tools available for its creators. And they said these new tools, like if you're a marketing guy like myself who's helping people build content and get their name out there, generate those leads and likes and engagement and shares and all that good stuff, they said it's going to save people like myself 5 hours or more per week. And what's not to like about that, right? Wow. So anyway, okay, Meta. Man, I'm seeing this AI everywhere though. And people don't just do AI for AI's sake, just like anything else. Have a goal and make sure it's going to be helping you and not just out here you playing around wasting time. Now, TikTok is about to experiment with ad-free subscriptions. So if you're on TikTok right now and you're running these, sitting there watching these, who knows what people are watching on TikTok these days. I still see TikTok as more of a toy than a marketing tool, but of course that's just me. But TikTok companies have actually jumped on TikTok with both feet. So many major companies are advertising on TikTok. So it's not a toy. It is actually a marketing tool for the right company. Now they're going to start charging $4.99 per month to eliminate the ads. Now this is based on Twitter and X, which is Meta, which is also Facebook. These guys keep changing their name now. They're trying to confuse the brother. So they're starting to toy with this model, which kind of runs counter to their old business model of engaging people, creating traffic, getting information, and then selling ads to the advertiser. And I think what's happening, they're not doing this because it's always driven by money. What's happening, privacy laws is kind of forcing their hand because people are being able to opt out of some of these platforms and not giving up their information. So they're looking down the road. Folks, let me tell you, it's usually always about money. And also the last news story, YouTube is about to expand its monetization to include more content providers. Right now you have to have 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 listening hours per year, or 10 million shorts and clips views in the last 90 days. That's a lot. So they're going to change that number to like 500 subscribers and reduce the number of shorts views that you can get before you can get into that, what they call YPP, YouTube Partner Program. That's the news item for today. So govern yourselves accordingly, like my dad used to say in the pulpit. Let's talk about what this story about, this sermon today about why your networking is not working. I've been telling you, go out here and network. It's a must. Well, some people have done it. They say, hey, Gatewood, you told me to network, but it's not working. Well, you didn't do it right. Because in most things, marketing, you must have a goal, an objective. Don't just go out here and network because I said network. Go out there and eat the free food and hand out business cards and come back with a desk full of business cards and stick them in the drawer, put that rubber band around them and stick them in the drawer and never see them again. If that's how you're networking, I understand why that's not working. So what you want to do, this is how you do it. So you're looking around your company and you have needs. If you're a business owner, I don't have to guess this. You do have some type of needs. You either need some customers, some clients. You might need some staffers or some contractors. Everybody needs some type of vendors or suppliers or resource providers. You may need some funds. You may need partners. You may need who knows what. But if you're in business, you have some needs. So when you start taking this approach to networking, focus on what you need and let that drive the train. So then, okay, so you say, look, I need, let's see, some suppliers. I'm trying to build a certain type of company. I'm running into issues because the supply chain is killing me. If you're in the hair industry, for instance, you may say, look, I thought that this thing was going to be easy. Throw it in the shop, just go ahead and buy some hair, and everybody's happy. Well, you find out the supply chain is owned by one or two individuals, and you got to crack and get in that club. So your objective may be to go out and find vendors and suppliers to help you in the supply chain. So that's what you start looking for, networking events that cater to that audience. Don't just go out here to go to anybody because you don't need certain things. You're wasting your time. So make these events work, make them relevant to your needs. Okay, now let's be more specific. You may want to go out to meet a particular individual. I've done this before, where I went to a networking event because there was a certain person there that I wanted to meet. I mean, it's nice to meet the other people too. It was a very nice people. Shook some hands, kissed some babies, gave out some cards. But I went there to meet this certain individual. So have a more specific goal. That way you don't have to go to 100 networking events to get your needs met. One of your goals may be to generate some leads, okay? You may want to go there to get some pictures to put on social media. If that's your goal, find a networking event that is going to accommodate that goal and not just go out there nilly-willy. Now, before you go, do your research. Make sure that's a group that's going to meet those needs. Find out what they're about. Make sure they're not in there, sacrificing people on the altar or something like that. Hey, man, I didn't come here for that. No, you go in there, you want to make sure these folks are within your relationships you want to establish. Find out who's going to be there. Like I said, like the person you might want to meet. Is there a fee? Most networks will let you come in at least free for the first time, but some you've done all this planning, going to this event, you get there, you find out there's a $50 admission fee. So you want to do your research. And also, do you get a chance to participate once you get there? Some networking events, you just there, like to fill a seat. Others allow you to actively participate. Like if you're going to a BNI networking event, everybody gets a chance to get up and give their 1-minute elevator pitch. You want to make sure if that's your goal to go out there and throw your pitch out, you want to make sure that's allowed before you even go. And you want to go with the right mindset. This is the problem. People's expectations sometimes are really jacked up when it comes to networking. You're going there with your sales book out. That is so wrong. That is wrong on so many levels. Networking is about building relationships. It's not about getting a sale right away. I mean, if you get one, hey, more power to you. Go in there listening. Turn off some people say, look, Gatewood, I can't networking because I don't know how to sell. I'm not a good talker. You're a perfect networker because it's not about talking. It's about listening. Go in there if you're listening on. Once you listen, then you know what to do next. But you can't do that if you're just sitting there yapping. And have the right tools when you go there as well. Take your business card, have a pen. You know what I do? I go in there with a pen, and pen has my logo on it. I have Gatewood pens. I have marketing pulpit pens. When I give somebody a pen, I say keep it. And people love that kind of stuff. And smile. Didn't I tell you earlier? This is Smile Month. What better time to start than today? Matter of fact, you can come on out to the BLE networking event at 11:30 today when I get off the air. I'll be there. I'm going to be emceeing. I'll be introducing the speaker. And I'll introduce you also to Miss Bernadette Clay, a very successful young lady who's the owner of BLE Executive Suites. 3 locations, one in Largo, over here near the stadium, one in National Harbor, down there near MGM, and one in College Park, which is a hub zone. Why wouldn't you want to come out and rub shoulders with people like that? Now, this is one thing I told the students in my class, is that one of the best things about networking is that it shortens the sales cycle. You run an ad, man, you got to go through the gatekeeper. People got to send out leads and, sales and material and call 5 or 6 times. When you're networking, the decision maker is right there in the room with you many times. So that's another reason we want to make sure we're networking and building those relationships and not just sitting around sending out information, but you have to do it right. Start with a goal, make sure it's the right kind of group, go in there with the right mindset, and listen. And what did I say earlier? Smile. Go in there with a smile on your face. And you gotta follow up too. Make sure the folks that need you the most and that stand the best chance for you to make some profit and sense of urgency, make sure you contact those people first, and everybody else you can just put on your MailChimp list or send them a card or send them a birthday, Christmas card or Kwanzaa card or Hanukkah card or whatever. And then rinse and repeat. There are a few absolutes when it comes to marketing. I'm going to tell you this right now. I talk about a lot of things, but this is one that works, but you have to do it the right way, as my slogan says. All right, that's going to wrap it up for today. What I want you to do is get over to BLE Executive Suites and register for the event. If you're not, just come on in. We'll do walk-ins. at 9701 Apollo Drive in Largo, Maryland. 11:30 today. I'll be there. And we'll be back next week here on the Marketing Pulpit at the same time, 10:30 a.m. on Radio 1, 95.9 FM. And you can also watch the show live on marketingpulpit.com. Matter of fact, you can go back and watch this show and share it with others. And also, if you want to be successful, ladies and gentlemen, you have to do these three things. Do the right thing, do it at the right time, and you have to do it right. I can tell you what, let's not talk about it. Let's get to work. All right, we're out of here. Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good of marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, you're saving businesses, saving jobs.
I'm Amina, the founder and CEO of HBCU Leggings. My small business story started with my passion for my alma mater, Howard University, one of the most renowned historically Black colleges and universities. In 2020, I was given the opportunity to organize a t-shirt fundraiser for Howard alumni, and in just 2 weeks, we successfully raised and donated $17,000 to Howard University. That experience inspired me to extend my support to all HBCUs. Obtaining a license to create collegiate apparel was the first significant obstacle I had to surmount. And now, HBCU Leggings has licenses with 8 HBCUs, with several more on the horizon. Apart from creating exquisite apparel, HBCU Leggings is also committed to raising awareness about the extraordinary contributions of HBCUs. The business disseminates information through blog posts, social media content, and e-newsletters. My ultimate commitment is to give back to these outstanding institutions. A portion of all sales generated by HBCU Leggings is directed towards supporting each represented school with the objective of giving back 15% of our revenue through royalties and donation. My motivation comes from my deep love for HBCUs and my aspiration to want to make a positive impact in this world.
You need funds. You need partners, people that can lend you money, people that can fund your business. And this whole thing about bootstrapping, I'm going to take a little bit from my paycheck every week, and that's going to fund the business. What happens in that case, in many cases, particularly in these tech businesses, you're going to face obsolescence. Sometimes you need a cash infusion. Putting $50 here and $200 there a month is not going to do it. You're going to end up facing obsolescence. Your business is going to be it's going to be no longer viable by the time you get enough money to reach critical mass. So sometimes you need those funders and you need those partners to help further your mission.
Let me explain why we are not your typical directory. First and foremost, we don't wait for visitors to come to our directory. Instead, we proactively take our members directly to the shoppers with our aggressive advertising campaigns. For instance, we broadcast our own radio show on Radio 1 WOL 95.9 FM, on which we constantly promote the directory and its members. In addition to that, we advertise our directory on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn. We also feature our members on individual social media posts. And we invite our members into our studio to tell their exciting story to thousands of potential buyers. So if you're looking for an affordable and effective way to build your brand, find new customers, and grow your organization, do what hundreds of others have done. Join the Marketing Pulpit directory at mpi.bz and get featured on the internet and on the air. Thank you for joining, and happy selling.